Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy day after Thanksgiving. So I've been posting some old videos. They pop up in my feed on Facebook, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And so I've been throwing up some old videos. What do you think? I mean, how do they resonate? I watch them, and obviously I did them at a different time of day, and it's a while ago. I think we've all grown a little bit since then, but I'm curious as to what your thoughts are. But my video the other day talked about gratitude and why is it so important to start with gratitude. When we do our priming every morning, those of us in the Tony world, or I personally, I do my priming every morning. I always start with gratitude. And why is it that we always start with gratitude? Because when you fill yourself with gratitude, it eliminates fear. One of the recent Tonyisms is when you trade your expectations for appreciation, then all suffering ends. And that's a summary of a lot of technologies developed over the last 100 years, but it condenses it down into one thing, which essentially is what causes us to feel badly about stuff is when the real world doesn't meet our expectations. I mean, when somebody is suicidal, the reason they're suicidal is because the real world doesn't match their blueprint, which, let's be honest, that happens to all of us pretty much every day. But when they feel that they can't do anything about it, that's when they become suicidal. When your life reality doesn't match your blueprint and you feel hopeless, helpless to do anything about it, then you become suicidal. So when you stop that expectation and instead turn it to appreciation, now all of that suffering ends because you eliminate the need for that blueprint. You still have it, but because you're looking at everything that's good, now suddenly you don't suffer. So we always want to start our day with what are we grateful for? Whenever you're doing anything significant, you should always take a minute, put your hand on your heart, and breathe in. What are you grateful for? And if your mind says nothing because you've patterned yourself to only think about what's bad, then you can say, okay, well, what could I be grateful for if I wanted to be? And there's always stuff that you can be grateful for. I don't care how bad your life is, because to me, my standard is the people that I met who survived the Holocaust. Those two people that I had the privilege to meet and listen to their story of what their life has been like. And when you talk to them, they don't have anger, they don't have hatred. That's not where they come from, which is part of the reason why they made it, is because they figured out a way to be grateful. They figured out a way to say, I need to survive this, and here's why. And when I do, I'm going to be happy about it. I'm going to be grateful that I did survive so that I can tell this story. So when we start our day and we look at it, we say we want to just figure out what it is that we want to be grateful about. What is it that we want to fill ourselves up that we're so happy has happened in our life or is going to happen or is present currently? Now we head out into the world with a whole different thing. We've changed our expectation to appreciation, and that changes our state. And remember, state is everything. Manage your state, you got everything. Don't manage your state, you don't have anything. It all starts with that. Well, when you fill yourself full of gratitude, you're managing your state. Because now as you head out into the world, if you're grateful and your tire goes flat on your way to work, you're going to respond to that event significantly differently than if you wake up in the morning and you're ungrateful, you're pissed about whatever, and then the tire goes flat. And now it's like, oh yeah, well, why does this always happen to me? You ask yourself empowering questions like that. Why does this always happen to me? Which was one of my favorite questions back in the day. So whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're going through, start your day by, and you could do it in the middle of the day. It doesn't have to be in the beginning of the day. You cannot do this wrong, but always begin with what you're grateful for. And don't just intellectualize it, all right? We can analyze all we want. It doesn't get us anywhere. You got to feel it. You got to breathe it in. Hand on your heart, breathe it into your heart. Feel the feelings of gratitude. And when that happens and you flood yourself with that, now life is going to be completely different. If all you did was do that every day, if you felt those feelings of gratitude and took deep diaphragmatic breaths 10 times, 3 times a day, and that was the only thing you changed in your life would dramatically change over the next 6 months. If you just committed to doing that, that alone will change the trajectory of your life beyond what you can even imagine. Because you're going to approach everything totally differently when that's where you start from. So make a commitment. We're almost to December 1st. Make a commitment. Go from now until the end of the year, 3 times a day, just doing a deep diaphragmatic breath. Hold it in. You can do box breathing if you want to look that up. That's a military way to do this. By the way, Navy SEALs do this every day, 3 times a day. They box breathe, they fill themselves up with gratitude, and they visualize the outcomes that they're going to create. So this isn't just yogis doing hocus pocus stuff. The greatest military force ever created, probably, the CRT, Navy SEALs, I think arguably is one of the greatest training programs that's ever been done militarily. They do this. And I know that because their number one Navy SEAL of all time comes and talks to the Leadership Academy, and he talks about how impactful box breathing, visualization, and filling themselves full of gratitude was to the training of the naval forces in the CRT. That took them to the next level. And then the next thing they did is they opened it up so that anybody could give feedback to anybody. And they always figured out what they needed to do to make it better. Those were the 2 things they did. That is why you don't hear about Army Rangers. That is why you don't hear about the Green Berets. You only hear about Navy SEALs because they figured out how to take that training to the next level. So do this for yourself. Look up a video on box breathing. Watch a quick video on how to do box breathing. It's simply 5-second breath in, 5-second hold, 5-second breath out, 5-second hold. That's it. And fill yourself full of gratitude. Think about what you are grateful for and feel the feelings 3 times a day. It's going to take you about 10 minutes total, 3 times a day. That's all you got to do. Change your life forever. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Mr. Dakin, great to see you. Mr. Drehobel down in Florida, great to see you too. Cold up here, my brother. And Natalie, so great to see you. I can't wait. I hope you're at Date with Destiny. You're going to be at Date with Destiny, Natalie. If you are, I hope you're in my room. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Truly honored when you take the time. I'll see you tomorrow. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.